Hi guys, hi guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome. That's what I'm gonna say. Welcome. Guys, Dr. Wendy Dearborne is in the house with another episode of You and the Laws of Attraction. Well, actually, this is my first episode for 2025. And actually, today is Saturday, the 22nd of February, 2025. So, guys, welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. And today we're going to be talking about why does this keep happening to me? Like, wait, what? What? Why does this thing keep happening to me over and over again? So, what is You and the Laws of Attraction about? Well, this show is all about me. It's all about you. It's all about us understanding how our choices, hopefully consciously and unconsciously, create the lives that we live. You see, guys, from the cradle to the grave, everything in between, everything that happens to us, or as I like to say, everything that happens for us is predicated on the choices that we make. Okay. And that's huge. And these choices, whether they are consciously made or unconsciously made, they are predicated on the choices that we make. Well, guys, my name's Dr. Wendy Dearborne. And one of my claims to fames, or one of my claim to fame is that I am a choice and laws of attraction expert. And what that actually means is that I share information with you, I share content with you that supports you in understanding the power that you have in making conscious choices for you. Yeah. I also support you in understanding the nuances that are found or that is found within the universal laws or God's laws, spiritual laws, whatever term that you want to phrase it as. And these are laws that are immutable. Yes, they are flexible. Yes, they are malleable, but they are unchangeable. Yeah. And that is so important. Actually, as Florence Scovel Shinn says, and that we open our mouth and we start making laws for ourselves. And that's so true. That's so true. But it's really important for you to understand that anything that I share with you based on my experience. And what I am wanting for you is for you to take it. And if it doesn't ring right for you, if it's not for you, it's not for you. And if it is for you, what I'm wanting you to do, really, guys, is to weave it into the fabric of your life. Yeah. Make it your own because each and every one of us, although we are all here and we are all interconnected, we are all having our own individual earthly experience here. So, once again, welcome to the show. My name's Dr. Wendy Dearborne, and we are going to be talking about why does this keep happening to me? Well, guys, I had written a meme. I write memes fairly regularly. And I had posted this meme. And literally, what the meme says is when a situation keeps repeating itself in your life, showing up as different people, different places, and sorry, when a meme keeps repeating itself in your life, showing up as different people in different places with different things, it simply means that there is something else for you to learn. There's something more for you to do. And there's something more for you to learn and something more for you to do is all about you being able to move forward in your life, being able to utilize whatever it is that keeps coming up in your life, to be able to utilize it as something to strengthen you and move you forward. It's It's vitally important to understand that as things occur in your life, life isn't happening to you. Your life is happening for you. And I've been saying this for years. Life happens for you. When you actually think about life happening to you, you can actually become a victim to your circumstance. When you actually shift that viewfinder lens and you look at life as happening for you, it's happening for you. You can look at it as life is supporting you. And yes, sometimes you might not feel supported, but life really is happening for you. So anyway, I wrote that meme this week, and actually I posted it on the 20th, February 20th. And in that, I had written some content to go with the meme. And it reads like this: no matter how you dress it up or how you undress it, meat and potatoes at its core will always be just that, meat and potatoes. Whether you make potatoes al gratin and you make, I don't know, ribeye, a ribeye roast, or whether you make hamburger helper with mashed potatoes, at the end of the day, it is still meat and potatoes at its core. When you attract into your life the same situation, and we do this, oh Lord, well, let me put it this way. I say we, I'm going to say we again. We, me, we do this. Okay. So, guys, actually, when I say we, I'm also speaking about myself. All right. It's really important to understand that. I'm having my experiences just like you. So, when you, me, we attract into our life the same situation over and over again, only with different people, perhaps in different locations, surrounded by different things. At its core, when you cut it all away, it's still the same situation. The only difference is that situation is being served up to you in a different way. You have a piece of steak and you have potatoes. You might stir fry the steak and the potatoes. You might bake the potatoes and barbecue the steak. At the end of the day, at its core, when everything has been cut away and it has been exposed, at the core, it's still the same situation. It's still the same meat and potatoes. It's still the same thing that has been following you around, only it's being shown to you for you to experience in a different way. The one of the key things here to remember is that when a situation keeps presenting itself to you, it's there to support you. It's there to support you in a way in which perhaps you're able to look at it with a different life lens so that you can view it differently, so you can see it for exactly what it is. Sometimes the time in between experiencing the same situation with different people, places, and things. So sometimes, experiencing the situation and it's showing up in new and different ways can literally take minutes. It can take hours. It can take days, weeks, months, years, even decades. It can take that time in which it shows up. And yet, no matter what time frame it takes, no matter how long it takes, No matter the hiatus in between, it's all about you and addressing a core issue that you have. It's about you finding an inner resolution regarding this situation. And once you find that inner resolution regarding this situation, you'll be able to move forward so you can experience the knowing and growing that happens within your life. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again and again. Your life is an internal experience with an external manifestation. Before you can experience anything externally, anything, before any experience that you have, you must and will have had the inner experience. You will have had the inner knowing, the inner belief, which is true. You would have had that inner belief for it to be able to manifest externally. And I can hear the cries already, and I'm not new to that. I don't understand that. I don't understand. Are you saying that I had this experience in my mind, and this thing that's happened to me, this heinous thing that's happened to me, blah blah blah? Yeah, it was in your mind. It was in your mind. And you see, the thing is, guys, it's not about blame. It's not about shame. It's not about pointing fingers. It's about understanding the nuances associated with the universal laws, God's laws. That's what it's about. You know, my brother says to me on many occasions that people like to romanticize things, and it's so true. We take our thought process, we take our way of thinking, and we actually ascribe that to the universal creator, God, or whomever your chosen deity is. We ascribe that to God, and nothing is further from the truth. Nothing is further from the truth. You see, guys, your life is based upon the choices that you make. You move to God, and God moves to you. Action, reaction. And just so we are all on the same page, the universal creator known to me as the God that resides within me, the infinite divine intelligence that moves within me, and as far as I'm concerned, within all people, doesn't make choices for you. Hear me, guys. God doesn't make choices for you. You see, you have to answer for you. You making choices for you allows you to know and grow. So God doesn't make choices for you. What God, the universal creator, spirit, whomever, Father sky and Mother earth, whomever your chosen deity is, the name that makes you feel comfortable, provides you with opportunities, and plenty of opportunities, so you can choose in the best interest of self, so your soul can know and grow. Don't get it confused. Actually, and while we're on the subject, and I say this repeatedly, and I'm going to keep saying these things over and over and over again. Understand the manifestation process. You are the what, and the universal creator known to me as God is the how. If you were the what and the how, we wouldn't even be having this discussion. If you were the what and the how, all the things that you proclaim to be going wrong in your life would not have gone that way. If you were the what and the how, situations that keep repeating themselves in your life, situations that you don't want, that keep repeating itself in your life with different people in different places with different things, would not happen. It wouldn't happen. So, guys, understanding the nuances of the laws actually puts you in a position of power, and also understanding that nothing happens to you first without you choosing it. And again, guys, I don't want to digress too far, but I hear people like, "Oh, I don't get that. That I cannot. I no, that's not a truth. It is a truth. You know, guys, you may be having. Okay, I'll use myself. Okay, right. I would have a phrase, and for those of you who have listened to my many podcasts, I've been podcasting since 2008, actually. So for many people who have listened to my podcast, I'm sure that you have heard that I was seriously ill way back in the day. And one of the things that I would say to myself is, my mantra was, I can't stand that. Or that makes me sick. And for those of you who do know, and for those of you who don't, I had a near death experience at the age of 21. Now, prior to that, I was ill. And one of the things that did happen to me was I couldn't stand. I couldn't stand. Literally, I couldn't stand up. I couldn't walk. The other thing that would happen was I would literally, guys, projectile vomit. And when I had my near death experience, one of the things that I was shown was the power of my word. And I had manifested that. Now, I could have blamed that all on the illness. Oh no, it was part of the symptoms that went with the illness. But I was shown that I spoke that into existence. I spoke my illness into existence. I spoke not wanting to be here into existence. But it wasn't my time. But anyway, guys, so that being said, be very and I've spoken about this as well. A girlfriend of mine, very dear to my heart. She made her transition uh maybe about 12 years ago, actually. Almost 12 years ago. And one of the things she would say to me, she'd be busy, and I'm like, hey girl, how's your day been? And she said, "Oh, I feel like I've been run over by a Mack truck." And I know we'd be out having dinner and this and that. And she was my running buddy. We would try all these different new restaurants in Las Vegas. And in Las Vegas, they have lots of new restaurants. Yeah. And I would say to her, you shouldn't say that. You know better than that. You know the power of your word. And she'd say, "Girl, I'm so tired. I feel like I've been pinned down and run over by a Mack truck." Okay, all right. So I'm calling my girlfriend, can't really get hold of her. Eventually, I get hold of her. "Where are you?" "I'm in A&E." "Which one? Where? Do you need me?" "No, I'm good." "Well, what happened?" "Well, an 18-wheeler pinned her against the loading dock." Literally. And this is how God works for you. This is how things happen for you and not to you. She could have said it happened to her, but it happened for her. And she understood that. She was banging on the on the trailer. She thought that the driver heard her. But what the driver heard was in his mind, in his head. The driver heard, "Stop!" Yeah? The driver heard, "Stop." Something shouted in his inner hearing, in his inner ear, to stop. And he stopped. Because he couldn't see her. He literally got out of the cab, walked a little distance to walk back, and he saw her. He saw her. Now, he didn't know how crushed she was until, my girl, she kind of cussed a little bit. She started cussing that man to move his truck. And he moved it slowly, of course, ambulance, police, blah, 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 all this stuff, right? But the long and the short of that story is, or those two stories is, your word's powerful, and your word and your belief in that word manifests for you in your life. But let me move back onto topic. When a situation keeps happening or repeating in your life, it's showing up with different places, in different places, with different people and different things. It's all about something that you need to learn. So, as I said a little while ago, sometimes, the repetition can be weeks, it can be days, months, years. It's all about you addressing the issue that you have. And it's about finding that inner resolve. Once again, your life is an internal experience or an internal job with an external manifestation. And once you've found that, you'll be able to move forward. Now, from personal experience, or personal experience has taught me through the years that emotions can take us down into this rabbit hole, as I call it. It can take you into the rabbit hole, the warrens of your mind. And this is something that happens, and we get lost. We get lost within these warrens in our mind. And as a result, the issue or the issues that keep repeating themselves never really get addressed. And that's because we move on to the next emotional charged issue. And so it goes on. And so it goes on. And as you jump on that sort of like roller coaster, as you jump aboard on that personal emotional roller coaster, nothing ever gets solved. Now, guys, I've spoken about emotions at length on my podcast. Okay. And again, this is something that I'm going to keep reiterating, because this is where many people live. Most people live here, right? Most people live here. And I'm actually going to keep saying this. Do not choose to allow your emotions to dictate your choices. What? Do not choose to allow your emotional reaction to something that has happened in your life to dictate your choices. Our emotions and our emotional outpouring, its function is to literally give us contrasting and parallel information so we can determine if we like something or if we don't like it. Hear me clearly, guys. This is what your emotions do. Your emotions give you a point of contrast and a point of parallel information so that you can say, yeah, I like it. No, I don't. And just so we're on the record here, right? Just so we're on the same page, just so we're on the same page. If you're being asked if you like something or if you don't, for you to say, I don't know, literally means that you don't like it until you say you do, or you're lying and you know and you don't want to say. And that is a fact. Our emotions, as I've said in the past, are mercurial at best and mercurial at worst. And so, therefore, making a choice based on our emotional output has the potential to manifest as a cataclysmic consequence in our life. You see, guys, the thing that has pissed you off today is the thing that'll have you rolling around, damn near peeing your pants tomorrow with laughter. Our emotions change from moment to moment, from frame to frame, from second to second. Our emotions change, which means that they are not a reliable source from which to make a decision from. Once you know whether you like something or not, you can then actually make a choice. And we'll get to that in a minute, right? We're going to get to the whole intrinsic thing of making a choice in just a moment. So understand that you making a choice from your emotions, whoo, that can have a seismic, cataclysmic, what they call the apocalyptic consequence. Okay? Now, to be fair, the flip side of the coin is true, but for the most part, like where it can be, all buttercups and butterflies and cupcakes and rainbows, but for the most part, life, if it keeps repeating itself, it's because there is something that is happening for you, and there's something that is being shown to you that you are not addressing. Okay? Right, guys. So, when you keep experiencing this thing over and over again, okay, you actually have the ability to get a handle on what is being shown to you, what the universe is showing to you. And sometimes, oh, here I go again, off point. Well, I'm on topic, but taking the segue. Okay, guys, let picture this. You have been doing your affirmation and your prayers and all this jazz for you want to buy a house in a specific place. And that's just reminded me of something, right? You want to buy a house in a specific place. You want a specific house at a specific dollar amount, surrounded by specific people in a specific area, right? You got all of that. However, a situation keeps showing up for you. And that situation is that no matter where you have gone in your life, these same sort of people keep showing up. Okay, so let me elaborate. You left home as early as you could because your parents were overbearing and you weren't given the opportunity, you felt, to experience life the way that you wanted to. They were just overbearing. And your thought process was, I need to get away from them, as far away as possible from them, as soon as I can. And that's what you did. The first job that you had, it went really well. And you accelerated, you know, up the ladder. You did what you needed to do, etc. It was wonderful. You got a couple of promotions. Yay, Ray, rah, rah, good for you. You then moved to a different department, and this different department had a wonderful manager, absolutely wonderful manager. You couldn't have asked for anything more. But in between you and the manager was your direct report, your supervisor. And they were everything that made you leave home as soon as you can, or as soon as you could, and go across the country. So neither mum nor dad could show up without first contacting you. And here they were again, the parents. Same nasty attitude according to you. Same passive aggressive behaviors, same everything that you hated, and here you are. This is your boss. This is your direct report. And this is how things show up in your life, as when a situation keeps repeating itself. Like you keep dating the same sort of man or the same sort of woman. You keep picking up the same sort of clients. And this is when, guys, life is happening for you. And for you to actually address it so that you can create the life that you want to live. It's the same thing, actually. I was going to say, you go to buy a place, you go to buy a house, blah, 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 blah. But these situations keep coming up. In order for you to find what might be your nirvana, the true happiness, whatever that means for you, or whatever it is that you're looking for, you need to address this issue. Otherwise, it will continue to follow you throughout your life. And I know that from personal experience. This will continue to follow you throughout your life. It'll be one of those things just when you think you're safe. Bam! Where the hell did this come from? Well, whence you hadn't really addressed it. You went down into the warrens of your mind, and other things came up which incidentally needed to be addressed. But you were on your emotional roller coaster, and so nothing ever got addressed. And let me just say this, guys. When I spoke about emotions a little while ago, emotions aren't something that you can repress, suppress, or whatever. You can't do that. Emotions are an innate part of you that they just spring up. They just come through you. So the name of the game isn't to try to squash your emotions. It is to define whether or not you like a situation. Yes, I like it. No, I don't like it. And then, of course, there's degrees in how much you don't like it or how much you do like it. There's those degrees. But to understand that is its function. So anyway, back to the meme that I was speaking about, right? Things show up for you in a different format. Now, to get a handle on what the issue is showing you, as a choice expert and a universal laws of attraction expert, truly it's just universal laws, and that's laws plural, not just law, but laws. I suggest you give yourself permission, and I'm huge on people literally saying, I give myself permission. So I suggest you give yourself permission to have your emotional outpouring. Guys, wallow in it. Be mad, be sad, have a tantrum. Just the outpouring, the emotional outpouring. Have it to the nth degree. But you have it with a caveat. And this caveat for me must be in place. That caveat says that I am giving my permission to have an emotional outpouring with a caveat. And that caveat is to inform myself that at some point within the next, you fill in the blank, the next hour, the next week, the next month, the next year, you will address that situation, and you need a time frame. So I give myself permission to be vexed, upset, pissed, angry, whatever, over this situation. And within the next month from now, I will address the situation. And one of the things that I love about us, one of the things that I love about this experience, if you say this in truth and you mean it, on the, I don't know, the 20th of March, you'll wake up and the first thing that will flash through your mind will be, you need to address the situation today. You said that you were going to address it. I love it. You self will tell self. Self is there for self and to support self in getting and having and living the best life that you can live while you're here. So you inform yourself and self will inform you, right? So when you choose to address the situation, here's the intrinsic part. Here's the coaching part of what I do. You need to say or ask yourself this: what does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it sound like for me to know and understand what this experience is showing me? Have you got that, guys? Ask yourself this intrinsic question: what does it look like? Or what does it feel like or sound like, to understand what this experience is showing me? Now, the other part of this caveat that I would say is, once you've done that and you've done the intrinsic questioning, like you've done that, to give yourself permission to know intuitively when you receive the answer and you know it to be true. Okay? Now, you'll be surprised, and this is one of the things that I love about intrinsic coaching. But you'll be surprised at the power found within these intrinsic lines of questioning. And I'm going to say to you guys, keep asking yourself that question over and over and over again. And eventually you will actually receive an answer that you intuitively know to be true. And from there, you are free to then make choices that are in the best interest of self, so that you can move forward knowing and growing within your inner life, so that you can experience the things that you want to experience. Life is happening for you. As I said before, life doesn't happen to you. Life is happening for you. What you choose to believe, are the things that you will receive in life. You need to understand that, guys. The inner talk that you have with self will create the external actions that happen to you. So the inner talk that you have with yourself is what will manifest in your life. Now, I just want to say this, right? In a previous post, I had stated that we are all born with BS meters, bullshit meters, right? And we are all born with them. We come here. It's a part of our innate physical and earthly spiritual DNA. We have it. So let me rephrase it this way. We are all born into this earthly spiritual life that we are having with an inherent intrinsic knowing of what is universal truth and what is universal untruth. Now, what we do with that, what we do with the inner knowing of what is a truth or lie, is what we choose to do with it. The universal creator, known to me as God, or whomever your chosen deity is, will not and does not make choices for you. The universal creator makes the choices that you make manifest from the intangible to the tangible, from the ethereal into the solid. It The universal creator brings it into form for you, brings it into physical form, changes your word vibration. Okay. Changes your word vibration into something that is solid and can be seen and touched. That's how powerful your choice is. That's how powerful your choice is. The other thing to note is this, as I said a little while ago, to say that you don't know what you want, that's not true. Everybody knows what they want and what they don't want, according to my father, there's truth to that. If you're having difficulty knowing what it is that you don't want, if I didn't say this before, I believe I did say it before, you can have contrast and parallel, and contrast and parallel will support you in making a decision. But that being said, if you don't know what you want, in the true spirit of contrasting and parallels, if you know that you don't want a job, or you hate a job that doesn't pay well, you know that you want to love a job and that pays well. If you know that you don't like where you live or your home, you know that you want to like where you live and like your home. If you don't like driving a hoopty or a junker or whatever you want to call it, you know that you want to drive a reliable, nice looking car. So to say you don't know what you want isn't true. You know what you want. So flip the script on things. If things are going on for you, flip the script. And I know I've just segued, but flip the script on the things that you do want. Your life is literally created based upon your choices. Your choices really manifest based on your beliefs. Your choices based on your belief now becomes your truth. The thing that is your truth is the thing that will manifest for you. This is why it's really important to understand, right, that whether somebody tells you something that's true or whether it's a lie is actually irrelevant. It's your acceptance of whatever you've been told as your truth that is important. You see, your acceptance of a lie as a truth now becomes your truth. And as a result of that acceptance, that becomes your belief. And when you make choices based upon that, you need to understand that there's a consequence. You see, guys, for every action, there is a reaction. Action is your choice. Reaction is the consequence. And I'm here to tell you, you may think you have control over the consequence. But I believe that if you take a look at your life and you're honest, you realize that you don't really have too much control over the consequence. The only thing that you have control over is yourself, and self is all about the choices that you make. It's action equals reaction, which leads me into something that I've said before, and this I say on a regular basis. Whether it is prayer, affirmation, spell, whatever it is that you are doing, understand that you are the what and the universal creator, known to me as God, or whomever your chosen deity is the how. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Don't think that you are the what and the how, because you're not. If you were the what and the how, all this stuff that's been going on in your life wouldn't be, would actually, I wouldn't even be here. I would not be doing this show. You are the what and God is the how. Don't get it twisted. God is never your what. You need to make choices for self. That is what we are doing here. You need this, the life that you are living, this incarnation is about you making choices. Have you realized that? It's about you making choices. About you making choices in the best interest of self. And while I believe that each one reach one, each one teach one, you cannot reach one and or teach one if you don't know yourself. If you're sinking the boat, how are you going to tell me not to sink mine? How are you going to tell me not to sink mine? That don't even work. So that being said, understand whether you are being told a truth or a lie, it's your acceptance of it that makes it become yours. And as a result of that, you have to experience the consequences, whether those are good or bad. Once again, we all come here with an inherent, intrinsic inner knowing of what is truth or lie. You get to choose. This is how wonderful life is for us. You get to choose whether or not you disregard that inherent, intrinsic inner knowing. You get to do that. You get to do that. But that being said, guys, this is my first show for 2025. I actually hope that the information here has been helpful to you. I really do. I hope that you take the information and, as I said, use it. Take it and use it. If this isn't for you, it's not for you. But weave it into, if it is for you, weave it into the tapestry of how you work. There's only one me, there's only one you. That space that you actually hold within this universe is all yours. Nobody can take that space. Nobody can be you. We can share information, we can use information, but it becomes our information and how we use it for the betterment of self. Well, guys, I'm going to sign off. You have been listening to an episode of You and the Laws of Attraction with yours truly, Dr. Wendy Dearborne. I wish you health, wealth, love. And love, when I say love, I'm talking about the universal law of transmutation, that kind of love. I wish you love and all that is good, abundance, prosperity, and everything that you want, and most assuredly, everything that I want for myself. So, guys, until next time,